When I think about things that help me calm down, to help soothe me, help me relax, women cannot be one of them. I automatically get worked up. And this is not a problem with the brain structure. It is a problem with them. Are there beautiful women showing me true love? Or are they treating me more like somebody in a cartoon who has raw vegetables and tomatoes thrown at them on stage while people are saying boo, boo? Can you achieve that same effect without throwing tomatoes and raw vegetables at somebody without saying boo? Of course you can. And that is how I am treated by women. The most attractive women especially. 7 to 10s in terms of quality and attractiveness, and automatically you must consider that the more attractive and healthy they are, the more naturally they attract you, and it is a positive evolutionary trait for them to be that way, attractive and healthy looking and in shape, because healthy people have healthier babies. There's a lot of evidence that proves this definitively. It's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it. So let's think about the brain structure now. The opposition view, biological psychiatrists, neuropsychiatrists, people who have a very scientific and ignorant view, almost always lean toward nature over nurture, right? What is the cause of this person's behavior? You know, they're eugenicists, biological psychiatrists, right? It is their biology, it is biological dysfunction is their argument. So they would say that there's something wrong with me that causes me to see women that way. They would try to address my brain, right? Mental illness, quote unquote, perceived mental illness, and they would try to address my philosophy. How stupid is that? It doesn't take a genius to see my description is superior. Theirs is nonsensical. If women are not reproducing in a way that is decent, moral, and righteous, certainly the problem is with them, not the individual that cannot picture something soothing and relaxing in regards to women. The problem is with women in this case, period. There's no logical other way to look at it. There is no more logical or reasonable assumption, even with all the evidence we have from mental health and sociologists and so on. It's stupid not to see it that way. But they insist that you see it in the stupid way. We talk about the hypothalamus, which is part of the limbic system, which has everything to do with anger, fear, pleasure, sex, dominance, hunger, and the desire to care for offspring. In the righteous man, first of all, moral dominance comes first. Before his family, before society, before feeding, before sex, certainly moral dominance comes first. But we see the opposite. The corporate elite, they push the eugenic agenda, which includes abortion, okay, which includes sacrificing people. Right or left? Right, you send your children out to war. Left, you can abort your children, right? They put the dominance of principles of evil before everything else. And that happens to play out as sex, pleasure, okay, and hunger. You see what I'm saying? They're addressing their needs. And then there are those who, the average person perhaps, who put to care for offspring, their kids, before moral dominance. Only the person that puts moral dominance first should be in charge. Only the person who puts moral dominance first should be able to spread his philosophy. These other philosophies are bad for the individual. They're bad for humanity. Ill-gotten gains, people, leads to mental illness, true mental illness. Not mental illness as defined by the people who redefine morality, honor, virtue, and responsibility, but true mental illness as defined by the guy who puts moral dominance first. True moral dominance first. The difference between the scientist who refuses to man up, that talks about what's good for society, who refuses to face the corporate elite as uncontrolled opposition, and the martial artist whose training doesn't allow him to cower away. The pure Sun Temple, not corporate friendly, Buddhist kind of assimilated, working with mental health, yin yang, inaction, non-action, going to a Buddhist retreat. When you retreat from society, your philosophy should not dominate society. It's irresponsible. It is distasteful. And we all should be fully cognizant of this truth. So when we look at the working class, prolonged gratification is one of the hallmarks, one of the characteristics of working class people. And in a divine order, this is not necessarily a negative thing or a negative evolutionary trait. But the wisest and the best are martial artists who train mind, body, and soul intensely. Pure Sun Temple. The difference between Zulus in high spirit all day versus the calm yin-yang person. Again, don't mistake the gi, which is my way of impressing upon you that I'm a martial artist and not my philosophy, for me doing Kung Fu. I don't. I do pure Sun Temple, pure masculine spirit, African martial arts through the Ra, Horus, and perhaps Igbo perspective, but certainly the Eri cult center of the Igbo perspective. Eri is an idea that transcends being an Igbo alone. It is the essence of what is best about Igbos. It is the essence of what is best about humanity. And certainly no race truly embodies that essence. Only an individual, me at this point. Okay, so when we look at a proclivity to worship Ra and fight for him, this includes mind, body, and soul, certainly includes brain structure. So going back to the hypothalamus, I've talked about the thalamus before in terms of processing and relaying sensory information to other parts of the brain. I've talked about gray matter and how it helps you focus, and scientists have discovered that the gray matter starts to develop in areas that you are focusing with more, right? The thalamus, if you do activities that involve the thalamus more, the gray matter tends to develop in that area, if I'm not mistaken. One way or another, that area is developed more. The hippocampus, memory and spatial awareness, amygdala, emotions, memory, and decision making. So imagine the dumbass who looks at someone like me and says he has a problem, an illness, right? He has an inferior argument and philosophy that led him to the inferior position of being a scientist or a shrink in the first place, right? That is inferior to a martial artist. It's stupid not to see it that way. That is inferior. Being a scientist is inferior to being a hero. If you can't agree with that, you may as well stop watching now. You're an idiot. What scientist has ever been a hero? What, people who helped make, Werner von Braun, helping make the nuclear bombs, rocket scientists? They make rockets, you fucking idiot. Wake up. And then they side with the left. Oh, no, war is not the answer. We're going to help them make nuclear bombs. Our science says war is not the answer. We're going to help them make nuclear bombs. It's stupid not to see it that way. They help them make bombs and missiles. And inevitably, one way to launch a nuclear bomb, logically, is in a rocket. So some people say, well, they dropped the nuclear bombs, Big Boy and Fat Boy, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the end of World War II to get the Japanese to surrender. Okay? What did they surrender to? Globalism? They're better off keeping on fighting. If this was the end, what would they surrender their people to? This nonsense? Well, that argument is a double-edged sword at best. The bottom line is, if you can't agree that the hero is the ideal man and that women should stop at nothing to date him, you're an idiot. You're a fucking fool. You're a despicable form of life, period. And if you play stupid about it, certainly you must realize that you are subtly and otherwise conceding my point. You are an idiot convinced to play like to pretend to be a bigger idiot. That's all that is. You couldn't possibly be more intelligent than the person who makes the wise decision. And I've gone over wisdom and what it really means in the past. Witten to know. You should know better spiritually. Forget what Western culture tells you you should do. What, you a colonialist or something? You want to rape Pocahontas? Fuck you listen to them for? Anyway. As we look at the term celebrity, it has the word Brit in it. And is there truth to that? Yes. There's some truth to that. Where is the Grand Lodge of Masonry? The true Grand Lodge for the world, right? Masonry is based and centered in the UK. Okay, that's where it sprung from one way or another. That's where the big boys are, so to speak. Okay, who's the famous prince of the world? Prince Harry, Prince William, these guys, right? So we look at what is chaos? right? What is society's problems? They're not bound by moral constraints, you fucking idiots on the left. Are you stupid? They're bound by immoral constraints, which includes cowardice. It is immoral to be a coward. If somebody's fucking your kid up the ass in front of you and you are afraid to do something, guess what? It is immoral to be a fucking coward. If you let some liberal say, hey, war is not the answer, just wait till they're done and shut the fuck up, you pussy. You pansy. Fucking cowards. What are you, a bitch? What are you, a Scooby-Doo looking liberal pretending you're important, pretending you know better? What are you, a drugged up Scooby-Doo? What don't you get? What are you, some dumb bitch that dates a drugged up Scooby-Doo when there's a hero that lives down the street? What don't you get? What kind of a fucking moron are you? Fucking stupid motherfuckers, I swear. Anyway, we talk about business, right? Oh, I mean, you're a dumb gold-digging whore. It is a criminal culture. To be a Republican makes you a criminal. To be a Democrat makes you a criminal. Green Party, Libertarian, any mainstream movement, hell, even being a Christian these days makes you a criminal. Because they're a bunch of liars supporting the criminal state. Duh. You know, is a mafia hitman not a criminal because he's not the boss? Because the boss is the president? Wake up. I mean, how stupid are you people? These are the guys who, like Lucky Luciano, went from making money hand over fist to making a killing and finally graduated to mass murder and soft killing. What don't you get? I used to hang out with thugs, and I'm the cool black guy who went from being a thug to being a martial artist with pure honor and tact. Not a pussy. What don't you get? I assure you, that's how it works. I assure you, there are gang members laughing at you while they're fucking people's daughters and raping motherfuckers. And there's organized criminals who are laughing twice as hard all the way to the bank. It's a criminal society. You're an idiot if you don't see it that way. There are criminals that run every sector of this motherfucking city. It's divided amongst criminals. What keeps gang members from setting up shop in the nice parts of your town? Because organized crime lives there and they don't want them to. They don't allow it. Are you stupid? And no, they're not just Italians, you fucking idiots. Fucking morons, I swear. They're fucking stupid. Stupid. It's stupid not to see it that way. It's stupid not to see that a criminal, a coward, an immoral bitch is the same thing. It's stupid not to see it that way. Why was I hanging out with the Crips? Because I believed in representing community revolution in progress. The moment I saw that these people were never going to listen to me, they were always going to listen to some tight jean wearing bitches or some drugged up Snoop Dogg, I stopped being a gangster. Look at my old videos. I was pulling them in the right direction, saying, let's take on the New World Order. They refused to acknowledge me as Pharaoh and the spiritual leader because they're criminals and nothing more. It's the same thing with every other group in society. They refuse to publicly acknowledge me. Women have refused to be on my teammate, mind you, teammate. You know who's on whose side by who's fucking who. That's part of why they conceal who's fucking who in secret societies. They control reproduction, putting an emphasis on the more conformist, more easily controlled sex, which is the woman. It's easy to pressure her with her friends and family to suck goat dick, metaphorically speaking, and to date who they want to date. It's like these little high school sissy valley girl yuppies that never grew up. Yup-E that never grew up. Okay? Oh, he's so not cool. Oh, girl, you can do better. Just stupid. Stupid. That's why these little kids in high school, why are they trying to be grown up? Or are the grown up women trying to be high school and junior high bitches? That is something that is perhaps acceptable to a degree because of the immaturity of the junior high bitch. But when you're a grown woman dressing the same way as that little girl who should be spanked till she's purple and pink, shame on you. The fuck is wrong with you? You yuppie Scooby-Doo dating motherfucker. You mad scientist dating motherfucker. You ogre dating motherfucker. And I'm not saying every big person is wrong. It's a combination of things that makes an ogre. I mean, think about it. Why am I so much more brave and intelligent than you people? And why can't women, for the life of them, for their children's sake, for their souls, Do the right thing and submit to fair.